Happy Saturday and welcome to the Ramashram Satsang Weekend Workshop, where you will learn a modern Satsang method for obtaining peace, light, and love in your life. My name is Shivangi and I will be introducing the facilitator for today's event. But first, I would like to give you a brief overview to this Satsang session. If you direct your attention to the screen, you will see that the first element is Satsang. Satsang is a scientific method whereby we may obtain peace, light, and love in our lives. It requires no physical skill, spiritual accomplishment, or meditation experience to begin this practice. Satsang consists of two words, Sat and Sang. Sat means positive energy, and Sang means to be with or to be in the presence of. Therefore, the word Satsang means to be in the presence of positive energy. The next element is meditation. Meditation is an important part of Satsang. When we meditate, our consciousness is drawn from worldly objects and directed inward to focus on a single thought. In doing so, our minds become calm and our thoughts become pure, leading us to higher states of consciousness such as enlightenment, peace, light, and love. Inner orientation. There are two types of satsangs, inner satsang and outer satsang. An example of outer satsang would be chanting or attending pilgrimages. When we practice outer satsang, we have the potential to change our behavior. But it is only through the practice of inner satsang can we obtain higher states of consciousness such as enlightenment, peace, light, and love. This is the type of satsang we will learn today where we meditate in silence. Group sessions. These weekend workshops are structured for group participation. When we meditate as a group, our focus is improved and our personal progress along our spiritual path is expedited. By regularly attending these weekend workshops, the benefits of group participation are amplified. Joy and inner happiness. All beings wish to experience joy. Joy is the eternal longing of the soul, but it is only through the practice of inner satsang can we obtain a joyous state. Each time we practice satsang, our inner happiness gradually increases, ultimately culminating in a state of joy that we experience 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Next, the agenda for today's session consists of three parts: the informative session, the practice session, and the interactive session. During the informative session, a lecture will be given about a satsang topic, our founder, or some relevant spiritual topic. During the practice session, instructions on how to meditate will be given, followed by a brief period of practice. During the interactive session, you will have the opportunity to ask questions or there will be a panel discussion. And now, I would like to introduce the facilitator for today's event. He has over 40 years of satsang experience. He is the grandson of our Guru Maharaj, the founder of Ramashram Satsang Mathura. He was born into a satsang family where he witnessed his family members obtaining states of enlightenment and live lives of peace, light, and love. At an early age, he began traveling with a mission throughout India, facilitating satsangs. During that time, he witnessed the positive effects that satsang could have on mankind. Upon arriving in the United States, both he and his wife continued to facilitate satsangs for local satsangis. He has led teams of satsang members in translating important satsang literature into English and has worked tirelessly to make satsang more accessible to Western and English speaking audiences. He currently travels throughout the United States, India, and England facilitating satsangs while maintaining his duties as a husband, a father, and an IT executive. Today, he will teach us a rare and ancient form of satsang as taught by our Guru Maharaj. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Sanjiv Kumar Ji.
Thank you, Shivangi. Happy Saturday, everyone. Glad that we are here in Satsang. So today, based on some of the prior in the week conversations, I was just thinking of talking about, if we actually imbibe positive energy in the morning, so replenish, charge yourself for the day, and then go through the day, and whatever depletes, whatever gets, dissipated, uh, again, recharge in the evening. Um, so if we were doing that consistently, we will be really charged up for every day. So given the and in the context of the negativity that we ourselves surround, knowingly or unknowingly, everything around us, people, situations, news, a lot of it brings negativity um, to us, we like it or not. So this whole process of um, imbibing positive energy, which is the entire focus of this practice. So you start the day by making sure that you're all uh, full of this quote unquote this transcendental energy, this positive, uplifting energy, um, and if we have abundance of that, we can even share with others. But that's probably step 2, 3, 4. But just consistently starting the day with the right energy, and whatever depletes, recharging that at the end of the day would have, you know, a profound effect on us on a daily basis. So, some of the conversations this last week were like, that is the focus. That is what Guru Maharaj even said, that, 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes in the evening. And some of the work that I have done last year around the course and some of the coaching is like, the whole idea is that instead of just thinking about a session, we think about a practice. This practice of um, and there are two other things, just the practice that purifies our heart, uh, enlightens our heart. That so so we also talked recently about, it's energizing the heart chakra. So if we think about the energy centers, the heart center is where Guru Maharaj said that we should focus on. Um, we start there, and we pretty much it's one of those centers where if you focus on the heart center, the rest falls in place, without fueling the ego, without fueling, a lot of other distractions that possibly come with, our growth, spiritually speaking. So one of the uh, articles I talked about, uh, you know, what is a spiritual power? Or if we focus on heart center, if we meditate regularly, if we energize ourselves regularly, we will, elevate ourselves. We will be on higher ground. We'll operate at a higher ground. But one thing that evolves with that is the inner strength. Um, so recently, I posted an article which was just a simple, very simple Q&A in one of the FAQ books that Guru Maharaj wrote, and in 2 volumes. So this is one of the volumes, the last one, where he has these simple questions. So I'll take one or two of those. So what is spiritual power of or inner strength? So he simply says truthfulness, fearlessness, and universal love, unconditional love, are the signs of inner strength. So basically, he just distills what being on higher ground, what being a better human being, um, someone who practices meditation, what should they have? Ability to be truthful, because that takes a lot of strength. Fearlessness, that's easier said than done for most of us. And universal love, that's again easier to talk about than to really put in practice. Um, so universal or unconditional love is when selfishness, you rise above, and you become far more inclusive. Um, so many people imagine inner strength as control, dominance, or personal willpower, but spiritual power is far higher than that. It's the power by which person remains honest when some sneaky stuff is convenient, and when person remains calm when fear is contagious, and when person remains kind when selfishness is easier. So, you know, and so then one of the other questions was, how can one gain and grow this spiritual power or inner strength, and how is it received and attained? So he says two things: stillness of consciousness, which is what we will practice shortly, and Guru's grace or satsang. So just being in, God's grace or Guru's grace, and basically satsang is nothing but that collective energy that. So satsang and meditation, basically. So this is. He also said that that's receiving or attaining spiritual power. So first you calm or restrain the restless mind, and and then let this transmission, guidance, upliftment, or receiving of this energy, this transcendental energy through true satsang, um, those two things will bring this uh, energy and inner strength and spiritual power. So, what are the impediments for receiving or attaining spiritual power or inner strength? So, he says um, the restless mind or monkey mind we have talked about, and the dark forces, or tamoguni, which is um, lethargy and um, things that just don't let us be in satsang or in positive territory. So this uh, restless mind, monkey mind, which is overactive, agitated, ambitious, constantly stirred by desire and reaction. The tamasic mind, or the darker, side of the mind, heavy, inert, clouded, negligent, resist, resistant to awakening. So all this comes in the way. So a Zen saying says that you should sit in meditation for 20 minutes every day unless you are too busy, and then, increase that to longer time, which Guru Maharaj says somewhere between 30 to 45 is more than enough. So on that note, let's get into it. Let's practice. So eyes lightly closed and still and relaxed posture. And then think of this presence of this transcendental energy as conscious source is right here, right now. Feel that presence. And from that source of transcendental energy, feel this energy as light, and this light is coming into your heart, distributing throughout your body, and you are getting completely and totally immersed in this light. So this conscious source is right here, right now, and it is the source of this transcendental light, which is coming into your heart, enlightening it, then distributing throughout your body, and you're becoming completely and totally immersed in this light. When mind wanders away, which it will, just bring it back to this thought and this thought alone, that this transcendental light is entering your heart, distributing throughout your body, and you are becoming one with this light. You're getting completely and totally immersed in it. We'll start with music, and music fades away, and we go deep into silent meditation, and then we transition out with music again. Let's start. Happy Saturday, everyone. It's your time now. Yeah, good, good session. So, Liz, how are you?
Good morning, everyone. I'm not in a place where I can really talk. I was going to try and put it in the chat, but it's disabled. But just wanted to say happy Saturday. I had a great meditation. Sorry, I can't chat too much today, but
All right, that's all
thank
right.
you.
Right. Good, good. Bijou, Arvindji, anything?
Happy Saturday.
Yeah.
It's a yeah, thank you again. It's a great session, and sometimes one of the things I've been also trying to do is recently is in our brains when I label something as I'm trying to just not when I see something I just respond. If I put a label to it, it just so I don't get hyper when it's really when I think it is good or going to the dumps when I put a label to that positive or negative. It's I just been trying it. I don't know how successful or whether that's the right way to go over things. Just with this ups and downs, I
So,
said, let me just try this.
so give me an example. So and I mean, is it helping in any way? Let's.
I don't know whether it's gonna help me, and it just as a for my own self. I'm just doing a kind of a study or whatever it is, just to see whether it's gonna change some physiology of me by just not labeling something, just responding to what I see in front of me.
Ah.
Or when I hear something, rather than putting a label to it, and just respond to it because I've seen that ups and downs and the emotions that come through.
No, so I'm recalling a discussion which is sometimes I don't know how these two things which are not very related kind of get correlated in my head, but I think and correct me if I'm uh, going off on a tangent here, but what you're saying is that you're trying to be non-judgmental,
Doing my best at it, yes.
right? So you are, instead of saying that this has, label it negative, label it positive. So to me, I think it's a extremely positive, more observant state. So the state of observer is exactly that. Like, and I always like to, as soon as I say observer, a newspaper and a reporter comes to my head, that ideally they should look at what's going on and report on it. So and the idea is not to put a label on it, let the reader of that newspaper take, if they want to label it, then let them do it rather than they themselves, the reporter themselves, do it. So think of you're breaking uh, the way in which something is observed versus it's analyzed. So you're breaking out those pieces, and as soon as you give, so I always say that there is a reactive part of the brain, and maybe Arvind, you gave a better view on that. So the reactive part of the brain and the analytical part of the brain. It's the analytical part which is our strength as humans, which has evolved so much. But as soon as we label instantly, we are doing that through the reactive part, and fight and flight kicks in, and then other stuff happens. If we do this exercise of first report and then respond, then the other part of the brain kicks in, which then uh, looks at it very, very differently. And because it looks at it differently, the response is very different. And when you don't bring this fight and flight engagement, then it'll directly affect your stress, worry, anxiety, and all that. Absolutely. So Arvindji, before I get too far out on the limb, maybe you can come to the rescue.
Well, thank you. Happy Saturday and Namaskar to everybody. Again, find myself ever so fortunate to have joined and blissful satsang. So thank you for this blissful satsang opportunity again for all of us. And you're so right. Settling the mind, there is a space between the stimulus and the response. And that space can be modulated very strongly neurobiologically evidence-based through satsang and through meditative processes. So the speed of response to stimulus, and as Biju was rightly saying, he's trying to observe and label things, that sort of process improves with meditative processes. On a different note, I was listening and watching a news about Mount Everest, and there is people are stranded on the base camp whilst there's a glacier on the way. Meanwhile, they're acclimatizing. So meditation, to me, the process of meditation is like acclimatizing oneself to be able to reach that higher state. You need the Guru's grace. But to have Guru's grace, as you were initially saying, you need to be truthful, pure of heart, and have selfless love. And selfless love links with selfless service. And those aspects enable Guru's grace to help ascent to a higher level, to a vertical ascent. And that's my humble thought that came to me when you were speaking about that process.
No, so I mean, all I would say, Biju, is that it's a good exercise. Let's see, if it sticks, and if it sticks, what does it bring? To me, it's just a very, very closely related to the byproducts of this practice, I would say. Yeah.
Thank you for that.
All right. Anything else before we wrap up? To Geeta, Jita, Omkar.
Ram bhaiya.
Namaskar.
Good morning, everyone. It
Namaskar.
was very interesting today.
Go ahead, Omkar. What were you saying?
I was saying that today it was very intense as usual.
Yeah, good. Yeah, definitely a very good segment. All right. On that note, love, light, and peace be with you all and us all. And let's continue to grow the inner strength that gives us truthfulness, fearlessness, and universal love. And that to me is love, light, and peace. And I think this observer state that Biju is referring to, so that we don't label things up front, we observe and analyze before we, just jump to conclusions. So yeah. So namaskar, everyone, and
Namaskar, man. Thank you again.
take care, and love, light, and peace be with you. Paula, Jeff, Luz, Sangeeta ji, Atharv, Ela ji, Mahima ji.
सादर चरण स्पर्श भैया
Namaskar.
प्रणाम तो सब सभी को
Geeta.
Namaskar.
Namaskar. Renu ji, Sujata ji, Shivangi.
प्रणाम भैया
Namaskar.
सादर प्रणाम भैया
Ajita, right?
चाचा जी सभी को प्रणाम
Mini. Namaskar. So, ठीक है. So, all right. See you all soon. Love, light, and peace be with you. Let's be in satsang again soon.